Hi everyone. I wanted to talk to you today about your research paper. So we need to dig into this, and today as well as next week we will have, I think, 3 different times when we'll really be moving forward the research paper. I want you to notice that the research paper is due on April 13th. So you should be watching this by April 1st, and by the 13th it is due. When you are submitting your research paper, you would find the place to submit it under activities and then assignments. And you'll see final research paper submission right there. So you would click on that and follow the prompts. What you see will be a little bit different than what, as instructor, I sometimes have on my screen. But I wanted to show you activities and then assignments, and then you'll click on this piece and be able to submit it. A hot tip, you can submit to this particular file as many times as you would like. As a matter of fact, I recommend that you submit at least maybe 2, 3 times. And the reason you do that is that you want to be able to check your originality report. So this particular software will take your research paper, it'll take it out onto the internet and compare it to millions of different documents and come back and tell you what percentage of your paper is non-original or plagiarized. We're going to talk about that next week a little bit more. But the bottom line here is that you can submit more than one time. You can get your originality report and go back in and correct anything that needs to be corrected or paraphrased further. I will only grade your most recent submission of the research paper. Okay, so let's go back under course materials and content. Always look there to see what's going on. So March 30th and April 1st, if I scroll down, I see that April 1st was library research. So I have a couple of different things here so far, at least. I may add to this before you're looking at it, but right now it has an online library session information. That's a piece of paper that looks like this. It says library session on it. So if I were you, I would print out these 3 pieces here: the online library session information, research paper basic guidelines, that's the second one, and then thirdly, your research paper rubric, looks like this. And these 3 pages will probably answer a lot of the questions that you might have as we go along. So let's go back to the online library session information. That's what I'm really going to be talking about today. Okay, so in looking at this, it says today, we're going to use the FRCC database to locate and print out one journal article. So the requirement for this research paper is only one journal article. You don't need to get online sources in addition. You don't need to get internet sources, books, etc. You need one journal article. Okay, so the reason I suggest to people to print it out is that then you can annotate, start summarizing next to it, writing your notes, etc., to get yourself in a really concrete way started on your research paper. Okay, so things to keep in mind. That's that second piece here in this handout. First of all, your journal article needs to be scholarly. That's why we're going to be searching on the FRCC database today. That means that it's been peer reviewed or it's scholarly. Peer reviewed basically means that it's been through a process where it's been sent out. The research has been done by a professional psychologist, psychiatrist, researcher. It's been sent out to peers, people also in the field who have looked at their research methods, looked at their sample sizes, looked at their statistics and their analyses and their results, their discussion, and have said, yes, this meets the criteria so that we can now publish it. So going through that peer review gives us confidence in the results that are reported there. It's very different than what you pull up and see sometimes on the internet or off the shelf at the supermarket. It's a very different process that it's gone through when it's been through the peer review. I look for articles, journal articles between 10 and 15 pages. Fewer than 10 pages, well, you can get away with it, but it starts to be a smaller amount of material and maybe too small to give you enough to write about in your research paper. More than 15 pages, sometimes my students get overwhelmed. So 10 to 15 seems to be a little bit of a sweet spot. So number 2 on this things to keep in mind says the journal article can take any perspective that you would like in addressing your topic. So if you're still thinking about a topic or you want some ideas, you can go to this widget that says research paper. And this repeats some of the things that you may see me put into the content as we go through these weeks. But possible topics for research papers is a document that has a lot of different ideas. So if you are feeling like you aren't sure what kind of idea you'd like to follow up on research, that's a place to go. Okay, I'm not going to take time on that today, but I wanted you to know it's under this research paper piece right here. Okay, so then it says number 3, before printing, you should have your journal article approved by me. Now we're not in the classroom, so I can't walk around and look at everybody's journal article. So if you have a question about it, you're not quite sure, then you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm just going to say, once you find a journal article, that will be okay to write about. So it has to do, the topic has to do with something connected to human growth and development. And like I said, there are all those topics to look through. You can look in our textbook. The textbook is really great about helping to narrow down by an age grouping. So if I'm particularly interested, for instance, in adolescence, and I'd like to do a research paper on adolescence, I might use our textbook to give me some ideas of topics. If you want help in research beyond this particular screencast, which you may very well want, you can contact me, you can contact the other people in the class, and you can contact the librarians. Latest information that I've received is that the library itself will be closed, but that we can access the librarians who will be working from home and helping us with doing research. So I'll try and post some contact information for that. Okay, so we just got through this things to keep in mind. This last part here for our next research paper class, I'll probably address in a second little screencast here. But let's go to the point where we're going to try and start our research. So we'll go to our home page and let's see. This is PSY 235-007. This is our home page. I'm going to click on FRCC Resources and scroll down to Library Resources. I'm going to cross my fingers. This is going to get us into the FRCC library. Now again, my interface sometimes looks a little different than yours, but I think that you can also click on this. Let me make that bigger here, and it looks like it has brought up a page with different kind of library resources. One thing I want to mention here, under libraries, APA style, they have some different kinds of tutorial videos and help. I am using 7th edition APA, so you can tell library people that if and when you're working with them. The reason I'm using 7th edition instead of 6th edition, and there was a very recent changeover, is because there are some things that are really been simplified, and that's good. However, the librarians in some other classes may still be on 6th edition until the fall. Okay, so what campus am I interested in? Well, Westminster campus. I'm going to click on that. And now I've gotten to a page, it looks like this. Has the person here. Here is the connections to those resources again. If I scroll down some more, they have a welcome. They have searching the EBSCO Discovery Service. Sometimes people hop right on to that. I tend to go down to where it says research databases. Search for professionally published articles and online books. Okay, I know I want peer review, so I'm going to click on this research database. Okay, I got another page, and this page looked a little bit similar. It says research databases, EBSCO Discovery Service again, and now it's listed all of these different EBSCO journal and magazine articles. I tend to go with Academic Search Premier because I think it casts a pretty wide net. Sometimes I have students who want to go with psychology and behavioral sciences, but I'm going to click on Academic Search Premier. Now here it is going to ask for your student number. So I am going to stop this video here. I'm going to let you try and put in your student number and pull up the library database, and I am then going to start a second video that will show you about how to search within the database. Okay, so go ahead and get yourself logged in here and then join me on the second video.